how to clean a hair system. That is the topic of today's video, and this video is in partnership with LaVivid Hair, who makes incredible natural looking hair systems. And I've worn one in the past. It was literally the perfect hair system. The color was incredible, the texture was incredible, and it was undetectable. One of the challenges I had as I was learning about hair systems and how to not only put them on, but also take them off and then clean them, I started to come across a couple of challenges and things that were happening to the hair unit. For example, I was sweating a lot, right? And if I was using a poly base, a thin skin poly base, there's no breathability on that base. So what would happen for me, because I do sweat a lot, it would start to kind of build up, and then I would start to get a little bit of an odor under the unit, which I could smell, and I was like, I hate this odor. How do I get rid of this odor? So if you guys are having challenges with not only sweating, but somewhat of an odor on your hair system, and you want to get rid of it and clean it, well, I'm going to show you how to do that in today's video by utilizing a couple of things. So what you see before you are the tools that I use in order to not only get the smell away from the hair system, but also how to properly clean it. Now, what I've first done is I have a nice bowl right through here with, I would say, the temperature of the water is, medium. It's not very, very hot. You don't want it boiling because you don't want to affect the fine skin base here, the thin skin, but you also, want to have it, I would say, room temperature, just normal temperature, not too hot, not too cold. And then I have baking soda. So baking soda, from what I've learned and experimented with, that is what really actually helps get rid of that unwanted scent from perspiring too much. If you're sweating too much, you will get that, and this really, really does help. Next this is just regular dish detergent here. Something that, again, I've discovered that it works. It's a bit of a stronger type cleaning option. And then a regular, this is one of my shampoos, a regular shampoo, and that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna mix this for you all right here. I'm just dabbing in a little bit of the baking soda. I'm going to squeeze in a little bit of the dish detergent. 1, 2, 3, say 4 pumps of the shampoo. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the base like this, and I'm simply going to just let it sit. And then I'm going to push down so that the entire unit is immersed into the mixture here in the bowl. And then what you want to do is, remember, this is just the beginning phase of it, right? This is the cleaning part of it. There's still another phase after this where you have to remove the glue, and that's what this process really does help with. So let this sit for, I usually go no more than an hour, whether it's a half an hour to an hour, depending on how much time you have. We don't want to let it sit over an hour or so, because the knots will start to loosen a bit, and you may get some shedding on the unit. Okay, so I've waited for a full 60 minutes, and I have the hair system here in a shampoo sink. And what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take the hair system out, and I'm going to then rinse it. I just want to rinse it to get some of the mixture off, the soap off of the top layer here and down and through here. And now I'm ready to start removing gently the buildup and the glue from the hair system. So here all I'm doing is just going over the entire unit or the hair system with my hand, and I'm just rolling my thumb on the base, and the excess glue from the previous application is coming right up. So the technique and the method is just using your thumb and rolling the glue off and picking it off. You really want to make sure that you're getting everything around the hairline area, and you're being very, very thorough with it. But the best way to do it, again, and I've noticed this from this cleaning method, is that the glue and the buildup just literally peel right off. Now, I have had, times in the past with my system where, I had a lot of buildup, and it did take some time for it to come off, and it took me some time to really slowly work it off of the base, but eventually I got it done. But what's great about using this kind of mixture of the baking soda, the shampoo, and the dish detergent, it really helps, because it's a strong glue. You have to remember, it's a very strong glue, and it wants to adhere to whatever it's being put on, whether that's your scalp, whether it's the poly system like this, and you need to get rid of it. And the reason you want to get rid of this is because this creates a layer and a barrier that prevents the next application from really being able to stick to the scalp. All right, so it's not going to be as strong. So what you want to do is just make sure you keep going over this until it's fully removed from the base. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fully rinse the hair system to where I get the remainder of the excess glue and the buildup off. But I also want to just make sure that I'm rinsing this pretty thoroughly. All right, now I'm going to actually take a shampoo, and I'm going to lightly and gently just wash the unit here, just to remove any of that kind of extra detergent or baking soda. I just really want to make sure I'm working on a clean canvas into here, and I'm not roughly rubbing onto the system. I'm keeping it very gentle so I don't damage it. Also, the pressure of the sink. Now here, obviously, I have the luxury of having a shampoo sink, but what you don't want to do is have very strong blasting water on this. You want to have it to where it's enough that the water is going to remove the product, but at the same time, not damage the poly thin skin base. And the great thing about this is that you can just kind of hold it and let the water and the shampoo hose do all of the work. Again, if you don't have one of these, you can just put it in your sink and maybe use a cup with water. The water temperature I'm using is a kind of medium temperature right in the middle, not hot at all and not cold. You're actually better off going on the more medium temperature to cooler side, something very neutral. But you really want to make sure that all of the soap and the shampoo is out of the system. But we're not done yet. So I'm actually going to hold the unit right here and just do a couple of pumps of conditioner. And then I just like to really work it through on the top layer very gently. And this is really just going to help get rid of any sort of knots that you may encounter in the system. And then I'm going to rinse that out. Now, if there is any additional glue on the unit, you may have missed some, you can simply just take a towel and lightly work the excess product off. And as you can see, it's literally just coming right up, no problem whatsoever. I just want to show you what happens a lot of the times is this is what the glue buildup ends up looking like right into here, and it just literally peels right off from your hand. So we want to make sure that before you move any or go any further into this process that you're removing all of the glue from your hands. Then I put a clean towel down on a tray or on the countertop, whatever you're doing. I'm going to be utilizing a sculpting brush, or a vent brush works well, but something where the teeth on the actual brush are on a bit on the wider side, and something that has any sort of little plastic coverings on the tips of this, because you don't want to rip the hair unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm holding down with light pressure on the base, because if you don't, you're going to pull the unit, whether off the counter or off of the tray, wherever it is you have it resting. And I'm literally just lightly combing out the hair system. And if there are any knots, all you have to do, and what I suggest, is working from the ends first, because you don't want to try to get knots out from the scalp directly here, because what happens is you're going to be ripping it out from this point here. So you don't want to do that. Instead, you want to detangle and comb out any knots from the ends, and then work your way towards the base, or what would be the scalp area. Also, depending on the types of products you're using, the conditioner really comes through here, because as you can see, I'm really just combing through it effortlessly, and there's no problems and no knotting whatsoever. So you have a few options from this point on. You can let the hair unit just dry naturally on its own, or you can blow dry it. If you are going to blow dry this hair system, I suggest using a good quality dryer, but also putting the power or the speed on a lower setting, and also the heat on a lower setting, because you want to really keep this hair system intact and not cause any damage to it. What I'll then do once it's fully dry is I'll go in from underneath like this, and I'll just lightly, again, comb out the ends right in through here, and I'll flip the hair system around, and I'm going to do the same thing I did when it was wet. I'm going to secure it down, and I'm literally just going to comb through it. And because of the good quality shampoo and the good quality conditioner, the brush just goes right through the hair with no problem whatsoever. So this may not be the right coloring for me, but I just want to show you how I can run my fingers through this effortlessly, and how healthy and how shiny this hair system now looks. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in purchasing a LaVivid hair system, which I highly suggest, this is a thin skin poly base right here, which to me looks the most natural. If you go to LaVividHair.com, and they also do have for sale the necessary tools you need to remove the actual system, to apply the system, like the glues and sprays and things like that. So definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching.